Hello and welcome to this episode of Cosmic Crow Tarot, where today I've got a new deck to share with you. It's the Murder of Crows Tarot. This deck's been out for a couple years now, I believe, but it's the first time that I've been able to hold it in my hands. It's the first time that I get to see all the cards. So if you're excited to see what this deck possesses, I mean, it's crows. It's a murder of crows, and that's just a ton of crows put together. There's a place, I live close to a town called Fairmont, and they have what I actually call a crowpocalypse. A crowpocalypse is when the entire sky darkens because it's nothing but thousands of crows flying over to go roost for the night. It's absolutely incredible. I mean, I'm Cosmic Crow Tarot. I'm rather obsessed with crows. So this deck, I'm so excited about it. How it came into my life. My friend Justina, hi Justina, if you're watching this, you're awesome. She and I like to exchange decks around Christmas. This year we decided to wait a couple months because, Christmas kind of breaks a lot of people. And we were no different. Like, it's just like this came out, expenses we weren't expecting on top of the expenses that come with the expensive season. So we waited a while to get the decks and send them in. This is the one that she sent me, and I am so excited about it. We're going to open it and see what the cards inside of it look like. This is dark and creepy, and it's got crows on it. So definitely up my alley. Alley. Yes, definitely up my alley. And it reminds me a lot of the Tarot Obscuro. Now, this deck actually came up before it, so I suppose you could say that Tarot Obscuro might have been inspired a little bit by this deck. Much different, but it's got that same color pattern there. Those dark gray, black and white. I think there's a specific word for that. The only word that's coming to my mind right now is sepia, and I don't think that's right because that's more of like a brown little feature on it, and that's not what this is. So it's like, black and white movies and things like that, things of the past. And crows, can't get enough of crows. Have my crow feathers right here to embrace the energy of the crows. Plastic is off. You've got the deck right here. You see, it's a very simple, small box. And I believe, created by, published by Lo Scarabo. You can see the name right there of the creator. It looks like Corrado Roy. I'm really bad at pronunciation, so I apologize if that is incorrect. But you see the box and the way it opens. This is one of the ways I think that Lo Scarabo, probably pronouncing that incorrectly too, but that's how they like to make their decks, because I have a few. Actually, my first deck, the Healing Light Tarot, was very much in a box similar to this, and it was created by them as well. So I'm going to take this top half off. You see it's like exactly half. Ooh, and look inside. It's even different. Like, you've got a box within a box, perhaps? Not exactly. There we go. I thought maybe the box opens sideways, but you've got the little guidebook right here with all the information. Now, these guidebooks, they're definitely that little white book we're talking about because it has all the different languages and stuff too. And you've got that spread right there, and you see that crow in the background. You know me. Crows, love them. Crows, corvids in general, ravens, they're the most incredible creature ever. Personal opinion. But we're going to set this aside. Really awesome box. I thought it was a little bit smaller, but no, the cards are really safe in here because this is a very heavy duty box. So I'm going to kind of close it back up and set it aside. You can see here the cards are very much still in plastic. So this is a brand new deck. No one has ever touched it, so it's going to have that new deck smell, which is very similar to that of a new book smell. I made the little snip on the actual box, and I forgot that this was in there. So, we're going to have to make a little snip there, too. And the snip has been snipped. We can get into the deck now and see what all these cards look like. Before we do that, though, yes, I will stick it up to my nose and smell it, because the new deck, like I said, is a new book, and it's one of the greatest smells known to man. Again, my opinion. Yep, that has that nice booky smell. You've got the little card right here telling you to follow them on Instagram, right there, for news and information, all the new decks that they're coming out with. That background, look at that back. There's so much to it, and it's so simple. You can't tell what's upright or what's reversed. So I love aspects like that because it gives it more depth. It gives it more information. If you knew what the back looked like if it was upside down or right side up, then it would be more easily you'd be able to turn that around and flip it around so no one knew that it came up reversed. So there is the title card right there. I'm going to set that aside, and we have this first card. Just as the entire tarot begins with the Fool, we begin with the Fool right here, and it looks like a Grim Reaper starting over. And you think about it, you know, after one chapter is over, a new chapter begins, and you have to be a fool again. So that makes total sense to me. There's his little crow friend right there, and what I find very, very interesting about this deck, you know, for those, it might not be a beginner deck at all, because if you don't know the meanings of the cards, if you don't know the names of the major arcana, then you're kind of screwed in this sense, because all you have is down here, this little 0. So you know this is the Fool. But like for other decks, you know, the Fool is written right there. You can definitely get Fool vibes for this, but if you're just starting out, this might not be the Fool for you. So we got the Fool right there. The Magician follows the Fool in the sequence, and there you had the Magician, the Crow, or Raven. I mean, it's Murder of Crows, so it has to be crows. But the Crow right here is like the dog. The dog that follows the Fool in the Rider-Waite-Smith. It's like he's right there giving him his knowledge. You know, his animalistic side, his innocence, his maybe this isn't a good idea. So he's down beside him. But now that trusty crow is on this dude's shoulder, the Magician's shoulder, and he's got everything he needs. He's got his wand, he has his cup, he has his sword, and he has his pinnacle. He's got that crow on his shoulder. That is one of my dreams that I would just love, to have like a crow that would just, you know, it's still free. So I don't have it as a pet, but it just kind of comes down out of the trees when it's easy and lands on my shoulder and creeps other people out. Like, I think that'd be the coolest thing ever. So there's the crow right there. The High Priestess also, definitely a dream of mine, being surrounded, you know, crows on either side, crows above me, crows by my feet, like just everywhere, crows, crows, crows. And you've got that illustration right there with the High Priestess, and she's got the 2 right there, and all of her crow friends, because the experiences of the past, the experiences of life itself is right there with her, so she can trust her intuition. The Empress follows the High Priestess in the sequence, and you've got the astrological symbol for Venus right there, connecting it to the Empress, and you've got the crow right there whispering in her ear. That's one of the things that I love about crows, why they're one of my favorite animals, is because they have, like, they're believed to be the only creatures, one of the only creatures that can go between life and death, like the veil between the living and the dead. And they're so intelligent. Like, they're one of the most intelligent animals in the world. I think they're up there with dolphins, and dolphins are crazy intelligent. Recently, 2 astronauts came back to Earth, and I watched the whole thing live. And as they were pulling the little I don't even know what it's called, the little capsule that they were in that came down to Earth with them in it, the dolphins were all surrounding it and like checking it out because they were interested. And crows are the same way. That's it. That's the intelligence they have, because it's curiosity. You think about that, we have curiosity too, and it helps us create lives, you know, that we love and enjoy. So there is the Empress with Venus telling us, you know, crows are beautiful. Crows can help us, like, just being inspired by nature, and crows and all those things in nature can help us create even more beautiful things in life. So beautiful illustration. I love the artwork on this deck. Like, it's very dark, it's almost creepy, but it's got that creepy, beautiful thing going on. It was just something that I absolutely love and adore. There is the Emperor, 4 of the major arcana. He's got the Ankh right there, and he's got crows on either side of his shoulders, and he's got that ball in his hands. Like, he holds the world in his hands because he's confident in himself, and he's that strong foundation that he needs to be. The crows in the Hierophant, look, you've got a white crow right there. So that's really interesting. It's the first white crow that we've seen, and it's like light and dark almost, you know? The white crow, when it comes to actual crows in real life, even ravens too, the white ones are, they're not appreciated. I don't know the right word here. Like, they're shunned, they're abused, they're killed, because they're not like the other ones, so they kind of just push them out of their society. So that crow right there, the white crow, it kind of gives me this energy, and I've never gotten this from a tarot deck, or yeah, a Hierophant in a tarot deck before. But that's the beauty of having multiple tarot decks. It's the same 78 cards, but each illustration gives you a new way to look at it. The Hierophant is often seen as a card of structured religion. And I don't know if I'm alone. I know I'm not alone in this, but I don't know if other people will admit to it as much as I will. The structured religion that I've personally, like, you know, the one that's the most popular in the United States, at least. I'm not going to go into specifics and things like that, but there's one that just sits higher than all the other ones, one that everybody listens to, it seems, more than anything else, despite the fact that, like, America has freedom of religion or whatever. As a child and a teenager, that religion got so mad at me because I didn't follow it. I questioned it and things like that. Like, people would scream at me, they'd slam my head against a wall and tell me that I was wrong and that they were going to save me. So that aspect of this relates to that white crow. You know, you're different. You think differently. People don't accept that. Society doesn't accept it. But see that 5 right there, that V? That reminds you that gives you your power. You know, when you find that confidence, when you think differently, you can help change the world and change your own life in the process. So I love, love, love this illustration. It just speaks to that, you know? Dare to be different. When you believe and have that confidence in your difference and your uniqueness, then you can change your life into the one that you truly, truly deserve to live. I think this might be my favorite card in this deck so far, just because of that white raven. It's wonderful. 6 lovers of the major arcana is 1 giant crow, taking the place of that angel that sits above the man and the woman in the lovers card. So that's a beautiful illustration. I love just that giant crow right there. 7 of the chariot follows the lovers in the major arcana sequence, and that chariot is being pulled by 2 crows. How cool is that? I want to see that now. No, that's mean to the crows of her. Like, because, you know, they're too small. They couldn't really pull a chariot, but that whole like symbolism and everything right there. Like, this deck is incredible. I love of course, I love the crows in it and everything, and the darkness. There's so much light in it too, you know? Fly free. The crows, they're together. So you have this like a message that you don't have to do everything alone. You know, you can have that person going with you. You can have that help to set yourself free and have those wings to fly towards your destiny. Fly towards the success that you deserve. You got, like, if you look closely in that, you see that the crow is inside of there too. So that's so cool. I love that. Chariot precedes the strength card in the tarot in many decks, but like the Marseille Tarot, the Deviant Moon Tarot, certain decks like that, strength and justice are interchangeable, so justice would be 8, but here we have justice or strength as 8, and you have that illustration right there. Not an actual crow, though. I don't see a crow in this illustration, so that's interesting. You got the lion, you had the maiden. If you look at the maiden's face, she is the crow. So she's found that strength to believe in her own worth. She's flown free from her past. She's driven herself forward, and now she has the strength to fight her inner demons and find the success and wealth that she deserves. Beautiful again. 9 is the hermit of the major arcana. And there you have the caged crow. So you have that energy. I don't really appreciate the caged crow or anything like that. You know, freedom. Even I said if I want one as a pet, I'm putting those parentheses there, pet. It's not a pet. It's free, and it just loves me enough that it's going to come and sit on my shoulder when I go outside. But the 9 of the hermit, I think the cage kind of gives me this energy that you know, you cage that knowledge, that freedom that you had in the past, so you can learn from it. And then you can spin the wheel and begin the next chapter of your story, where the crow is now free to fly wherever he wants to go. There's all the symbols around the middle. All of these symbols mean something. Again, I want to learn the symbology. I want to learn, like, be confident in saying that stuff, and I just haven't gotten to it yet, because you have all these, like, yeah, they're very important symbols and stuff. Like, what's the word I'm looking? Kabbalah or something like that. That's like those symbols right there. So there's a lot of information here that you can like learn from, you know, as you spin that wheel and begin the next chapter, you know, learn as you go. That's the astrological symbol connection to the Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter, and Jupiter has that expansion and good fortune and luck because we're willing to learn as we go. So there is that illustration. Justice follows the Wheel of Fortune. You know, life wasn't fair before. You spin the wheel and begin anew. You find that justice, that fairness, that balance that you deserve. And we have that crow sitting on her shoulder again, kind of like that magician we had in the beginning. And X1 or XI11 would be double that magician. So that's like a nod back to that magician. You've made it to this part. You've made it to this sequence. So life can be fair and balanced because you've learned from the experiences of the past. The Hanged Man follows justice, and you have that illustration right there. Dude hanging upside down, the crow kind of helping him hold on, or like holding him up. So very cool illustration there. 13 is death. Like, look at this illustration right here. There's a lot going on here. It's downright creepy. I'll give you that. There is I'm trying to remember the name of the book. There's like a Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, I think it was called, and that face right there reminds me of that book, like the front cover of that book. So very cool illustration right there. Very deathly. You definitely got that illustration. You got the people down there and stuff, kind of just showing that new beginnings are coming, but you're learning from that experience of the past, because you see he's looking that way, so he's kind of looking towards the past. Temperance follows death in the major arcana sequence, and here is Temperance. She is the crow, so that's a really cool concept right there. Taking the knowledge of the past, using that knowledge that which she's flown towards before, and applying it to the path ahead so that she can change and transform her life for the better, which is 1 and 4 combined to make 5. The devil follows Temperance. When you take all that knowledge and it overwhelms you, then you give into those vices and addictions, and it keeps you prisoner, which is the devil card right there. And if you let that, that vice and addiction, if you let it just overwhelm you, if you only need that, then eventually your tower is going to come crashing down. And there is the tower. The tower is being struck by lightning. It hasn't quite fallen yet, but it's going to. You can't stop that. And you got the crow flying away, reminding us that even if all is lost, hope still remains. We have to learn from those experiences, learn from that crashing tower, pick up the pieces and build a new tower. So that crow flies away. And then the star that follows the tower in the major arcana sequence, look, he's landing. He's landing, and he's got that star. He's taking that knowledge and applying it so that he can become the star of his story. This is the card of hidden talents, a card of just belief of our own personal star power. And we've left behind what no longer served us, so we can find what does. So beautiful, beautiful illustration. 18 is the moon of the major arcana, and how cool. I love the fact that the moon has a face and it's very feminine, because the moon in astrology, relating to emotions, always relates to a feminine energy to me personally. I think it probably does to everybody, but I give human qualities to objects that shouldn't very, very often. Moon is she, sun is he. That's just in my head. Like Venus is she, Jupiter is he. I don't know, what's Earth? Earth is she too, isn't it? Mars is definitely a he. Yeah, we could go into all of this, but there you have the moon. You have those 2 different crows right there, like having a conversation. Maybe this crow, that's the other crow's, this crow is like the subconscious, because the moon is the subconscious, and you're taking that time to look inward, to make your dreams a reality, to find that day in the sun. There is the sun card. There's the sun up in the sky, and you've got the crow right there, and the child almost riding the crow. So this has never-ending story vibes to me. Beautiful illustration. I love that crow. I love just that, like, the light is seeping in right here. All that darkness, all that pain and everything. You learn from those experiences. You free yourself from the prison of your mind. You start being fair and balanced to yourself because you've hung around. You've learned from what's been lost. You can find that day in the sun. You can find that joy and happiness and that light that you deserve again. 20 is Judgment of the Major Arcana, and you've got the crow right there tooting the trombone or the trumpet or the horn right there, and you've got all the little graves and the crows right there, learning from that past, forgiving that past, so you can judge yourself fairly and find the success of the world. And there is the World card, the completion of the Major Arcana. Got both the wands and everything right there saying, I've completed this. I've found success. I feel on top of the world. So then I can be a fool again and take that knowledge I've learned and go through the major arcana again. That's life. When one chapter's over, one cycle's over, you begin again. And that's the beauty of life. There's always opportunity for potential, always opportunity for a new chapter, for change, for, if life wasn't good in the past, it can seriously turn around and be better. And the more we learn from our experiences, the better we can make those next chapters in our futures. Next up, we had the Suit of Cups. There are no words on this deck, which I find very, very fascinating. It almost relates back to the crows themselves, because they don't have they don't speak English. They don't have a language. They just, they know. They have those caw or whatever else they want to say. My personal ones that I feed every day, I've got about 6 or 7 of them at this point that come down. They know me. They sit in the trees while I feed them and everything, and they know I like cats. Somehow these birds know that I prefer cats over dogs and will purr at me when I bring them food. So they're very, very awesome. Definitely fills my cup up and makes me happy ever since I decided to start, putting little dishes out with peanuts and cat food and things like that. So that's the 1, the Ace of Cups, the 2 of Cups, You know, the crows are right there. I have a cool relationship with the crows. They begin to trust me a little bit more every day, which is really, really cool. None of them are landing on my shoulders yet, and they wait till I walk away before they actually come down and eat. But they're right there, and I talk to them every day. So, you know, we're getting more comfortable. We're having that partnership. Yeah, they know me and they're like, hey, this is Numb Lady. She comes and feeds us every day. She's cool. And they'll like yell at me and talk to me. Two of Cups right there. You've got the two characters. You've got the two crows. Maybe they come together and decide they want to feed the crows together. My husband does it for me for some days, so they know who he is too. So we have that cool relationship. The fulfilling partnership, you know, that we appreciate other people, like each other's different like desires and like goals, like the what fills our cups up, and we kind of support each other on that, and that's a great relationship to have, and kind of relates to that two of cups. Three of cups is about partying, you know, having that you know, those people that you filled that cup up with, you had that partnership with, and now you celebrate together and figure out what you can create together, and you have those three cups up there with all the crows in it. Beautiful. I love this deck, like the darkness and everything, and the crows, because crows are awesome. Four of Cups is the card of boredom. Never would I ever be bored if I was sitting underneath a tree and there was a crow looking at me. I'd just be the weird person sitting underneath the tree talking to the crows. So there is the Four of Cups. The Five of Cups is next. That is the card of feeling, you know, focusing on the past, focusing on that what's been lost and not seeing what still remains. So you don't actually have five cups here. You do have five crows and a single cup. So he seems very, very sad. He's even got his like crow mask and everything on. So maybe he's focused on like the crows that have left him in the past. And now these crows are coming and he doesn't even want to notice them because he's still sad. He's blinded to the future and the crows that are there, like the potential and the joy that remains because he's so focused on the sadness of his past. Nostalgia card of the Six of Cups follows the Five because you've learned from those experiences. You've learned from what's been lost. And you take that knowledge, you know, self-reflection is the energy of the number 6. And there he's actually reflecting, you know, taking that time to learn from that past, what's been lost, what brought him joy, what made him sad, so that he can take that and face those choices that he needs to face moving forward. Oh, look at this illustration. It's like the potential. This is the coolest Seven of Cups I've ever seen because it's nothing like any other Seven of Cups I've ever seen. There's no cups here. There's the cup down here. There's the shadow of the crow on the back, which nod to that because it's like a tattoo of a crow on your back. I've got that tattoo. Not that big. That would be so cool. But like a crow, the tattoo of the raven on my shoulder. But he's got that, and like this is the hope. This is the potential. This is the future. You know, Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. Charles Dickens did write the Christmas Carol, right? But even if I'm wrong about that, because I can't think of it right now, you know that story, like the ghost of past, ghost of present, ghost of future. That's like the future ghost, you know? You've learned from those experiences. You've let the sadness go. You've learned from the sadness. You've learned from the good. You've learned from the bad. And now you can make that future whatever you want it to be. Follow whatever choice that you want. It's beautiful. Love that. Eight of Cups, the card of leaving behind what no longer emotionally satisfies you. Which, you know, the Five of Cups right there. The Four of Cups even shows that boredom. It was already time to let it go. It no longer brought you joy, but you can't seem to look past that. This shows that you can, you know, double 4 makes 8. So you have that illustration right there, you know, flying free, taking that knowledge of the past with you as you move forward so you can find success in something else. Nine of Cups is the wish card of the tarot. And despite the fact that this, again, is creepy and dark and all that good stuff, it's like the phantom from the Seven of Cups is staring at you now, saying that you have that power to make your wishes come true. And that crow in the back, that big crow right there, shows that power that you do. Those experiences of your past give you that power to make your wishes come true moving forward. 10 of Cups, we have a white raven, or white crow again. I keep wanting to call them ravens. I don't know why. Raven is more of a fun word than crow, I guess. I don't know. But you've got the clouds there. It's in the shape of the crow. So it reminds you like the happy family is more than just mother, father, son, and daughter and those things. It's the ones that fill us with joy. It's the completion that makes us just feel happy and complete. And that kind of is the energy of the world around us too. You know, anything can be our family when we feel one and connected to the world around us. So that is a beautiful illustration. This one's definitely going to be hard to read with. they're in order right now, so you know which ones they are. So we're going to kind of, the more I work with this deck, the more I'll memorize what the members of the court are, but you don't have any words on them either. You've got this little symbol right here. So that symbol, do you see that right there, must be the page. So we've got the Page of Cups right here. We've got the cup right there, so we know this. Holding his cup, so we know this is the cups. We've got the crow right here, tiny little crow there. So we have that energy of inner child, first doing that connection with the crows. The Knight of Cups, this one actually might be easier than we know, because that's definitely the page. If the knight is on a horse, so that one definitely will be the soldier, the Knight of Cups, holding the cup up, following his heart, the romantic of the tarot. You've got the Queen of Cups right here, the female in the group, so definitely the queen. This isn't as hard as I originally thought. She's got the crow right there, learning from her experiences and everything, and letting love lead her forward. So she's got that looking at, because the Queen of Cups is more focused on the happiness and joy of others than she is herself. That's what fills her cup up, but she deserves to be happy too. So taking that, letting your heart lead you in everything you do, just like the King of Cups says right there. He's in a throne, so we know this is the king. Letting your heart lead you in everything you do will help you change your life into one that you love and enjoy. Because kings, you don't see it on the card, but the cards after the 10 would be the court cards, and then you can find their numbers easily. 10 is 10 precedes 11, 12, 13, 14, page, knight, queen, king. That easily, 14, temperance, there is the king. So that's a little, if you didn't know, how to connect the numbers, that's how you do it. At least that's how I do it. So there is the king. And then we had the suit of pentacles. I've never seen a deck set up like this. Usually it's, wands, cups, swords, pentacles, but this one's cups, pentacles, and then I guess we'll see as we go. There is the Ace of Pentacles. Beautiful crow. I love that. I kind of want that as a tattoo now too. Two of Pentacles right here in this illustration. The card of balancing two different things, to find success, because sometimes, work and play, the work that you want to do and the work that you enjoy doing. Balance is key right here. Three of Pentacles, card of collaboration. He's got the crows here watching him as he works to achieve his goals. So kind of reminds you that as you're creating something, be inspired by the world around us, maybe not even advice or inspiration from other people. The ideas that can come for you, collaborating with you, could just be appreciating nature. Four of Pentacles, very, very creepy, deceiving, kind of creepy little nemesis dude right there holding on to all his pentacles and stuff with the windows and everything of the town, because he's ignoring them and he's sitting there holding on to the money for the rainy day. So there's a positive side of that. Four right there reminds us that money can help us create a strong foundation, but the energy of the Four of Pentacles always reminds us that money isn't everything. So don't lose sight on what's important to you. The world, take crows for example, they don't use money. If you're feeding them and they bring you stuff, bring you trinkets and stuff, little twigs, sparkly things, shiny things like coins and stuff, they're paying for their stuff. But money isn't all that it's important to have a strong foundation in our society, but it isn't everything. We should remember that. But, when we don't have enough, we feel down on our luck, unsuccessful, and don't know where to turn. And there's the Five of Pentacles. All the crows are attacking him now. You don't have enough money to buy us food? Well, we don't like you anymore, and we're going to peck your eyes out. So that's a fun illustration. Six of Pentacles, the sharing is caring card. And that guy, actually, see that guy right there? That illustration of that guy? That's that same guy right there, isn't it? He's sharing his money. He held on to all his money and then he realized he doesn't need it all. So now he's sharing it with others and he's feeding the crows, spending his money to feed the crows so they don't peck him to death. Next up, we have the Seven of Pentacles, the card of patience. And as they grow, they stand there and their work is growing, their ideas are growing, they're creating that earthly existence that they desire. They're standing there having patience with the process and patience with themselves. Eight of Pentacles is the hard work that goes into perfecting your goals and finding success. And you've got that Eight of Pentacles right there as he has his little feather. The feather right there, and he's writing his that's what his projects are. That's what his earthly pleasures, what he wants to create so he can have his earthly pleasures right there at that feather. I've always wanted to do that. I wanted to take one of the feathers that I have. I've picked them up. That's how I get my feathers. They'll leave them for me sometimes. I'll go up there where I feed them in the underneath the pine trees, and sometimes I'll actually find the feathers laying there. Like they actually laid it there just to give to me. That's how I like to see it. And I would love to make an ink, like a quill out of it. I think that would be so cool. So that's kind of what I want to do there with that 8. You'd have to work for it. You'd have to perfect it. I've got actual, I think they're called pokeberries, and I kept and froze all the pokeberries. Do not eat pokeberries. They will make your stomach feel like crap, and if you eat enough of them, they will kill you. So they're poisonous berries, but they're this really pretty purple, and I'd love to use those to actually make ink, and I just haven't done it yet. 9 of Pentacles, the card of the successful individual, the successful woman that can buy herself whatever she wants. Can she buy herself a pet crow? No, because it's illegal in the United States. I don't know if it is in other countries, but they're where things are native, they're not allowed to be prisoners. They're not allowed to be pets. So keep that in mind if you want to buy a crow. I think in America, if you buy like a magpie or something where they're from another country, that is perfectly legal. I've never understood that because, if that got out, that's how, like in what do they call it? Invasive species. That's what that would happen. They'd start breeding with the actual crows, and we'd have half magpies, half crows. So I think personally, again, like I said in the beginning with that magician and everything, don't keep it in the house. Just make friends with it so it loves you anyways. And it's kind of like a pet, but it's a free pet. 10 of Pentacles, the card of generations coming together to celebrate. Generations of family coming together to celebrate. Or past lives and ancestors, and the blood that flows through our veins is right here. And you have all those crows up there as they peck on the ground, and they have all of each other, reminding us that we have each other too. We have those memories of our past. We have the blood that flows through our veins that our ancestors gave us, our past lives gave us. We have everything we need to spin that wheel and begin again. There's that 10, the single coin down there reminding us, even if we don't have a lot, our ancestors might not have had a lot too, and we can always take what we've learned and, start over, begin again. Page of Night follows the 10. We have that card right there. He's got his coin, and he's focused on what he wants to achieve. He takes that knowledge, he takes that coin, and he starts working with it. The path ahead might not be all that fun. It might be boring and mundane at times. You see that coin right there on this weird, like, Trojan horse thing, and the crow's up there? He's going to do that hard work. He's going to put in that effort. So then he can have that. He can wear that coin. He's got enough money because he's put in that boring and mundane work. Now she has enough, the Queen of Pentacles has enough to be able to use that knowledge to help others, to use those finances to help others. She has everything that someone might need because she's worked hard to get to what she has. And that becomes the successful king of the suit of Pentacles. He's got it right there on his shoulder. He's focused on that money because he's made a name for himself. And he's like looking back at what he's done to achieve what he's achieved. So there is that King of Pentacles. He's put in that hard work and effort to find and appreciate all the fruits of his labor. The Suit of Wands is up next because you've got that one and you have the little stick right there. So we've definitely got the Suit of Wands right there with the Ace of Wands. If you're passionate about a crow, you make friends with the crows. The crows might help you make more passionate things. A mobile out of crow feathers. I have one of those. I've got a dream catcher with crow feathers on it. I don't make them myself. I have a very, very good friend. His name is David. That if he gets in his mind that he wants to make something, he makes it. It's the most beautiful thing you'd ever see. I've got crow earrings. I've got a crow mobile. Crow dream catcher, you name it, he can make it. He makes it all for me. It's so fantastic. So maybe he's not passionate about it, but he's my best friend, so he's definitely, his passion for it helps me with my passion because I'm not that creative. Ace of Wands away. 2 of Wands is next. Should I stay or should I go card? They're making that choice. You see all those briars and everything. It kind of reminds you that making that choice isn't all that easy. As you get that darkness and that doubt and that indecisiveness right there. It kind of clouds your vision and everything. But if you take that time to look within, too, the number of the High Priestess, and intuition, you take that time to look within, you can decide what you really want. You can find that day in the sun again. So this kind of gives me that sun vibes when you look past that indecisiveness and doubts. 3 of Wands, my favorite card of the tarot, because it's about making the choice that you're passionate about, following your own unique path, letting your freak flag fly, and in the process of you creating the life that you're passionate about, you inspire others to do the same. So love that illustration. Love that energy, not as briary and thorny as this illustration. You know, it's kind of cleared up, and now the sun is going to shine again because you made the choice to follow the path that you're passionate about. Now you can celebrate it. You can celebrate that passionate path, or the path that you're passionate about right there. The strong foundation that you've created with the Four of Wands right there. Five of Wands. It's the card of immaturity. You know, you found that passionate path. You've created a strong foundation with your passionate path. And now others want a piece of it. Other people want to fill you with doubt about it. So there's all the crows fighting and everything. One, two. There's enough for everybody right there. Because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 crows right there. And you've got 5 wands. So you know they shouldn't be fighting. But they're so distracted with believing that other people's opinions or other crows' opinions are not as important as their own, that they've completely lost sight of what they started in the first place. 6 of Wands, the card of celebrating our victories, no matter how small. Self-reflection energy with the Lovers of the Major Arcana. You know, he looks at that fence. He looks at the future because he's learned from those experiences past. He's been victorious in the past, so he can be victorious again as he creates a life that he has passion about and loves. 7 of Wands, the card of defending our passions, you know, against the people that want to fight us and everything. There's a lot of calming energy in this illustration, which kind of goes against the energy of the 7 of Wands that I usually see. But those briars, those thorns down there look way more dangerous. So maybe that's the obstacle, because, you know, 7 is the number of the chariot. Overcoming obstacles lead us to success. And maybe that single crow is that doubt, that insecurity in our minds that make us think that we can't move forward and find success, which could lead us to the 8 of Wands right there, you know, feeling like life is moving too quickly, too stressed out because we don't believe in ourselves as much as we should. I like this illustration, how they all just kind of sit there and stare at you. You know, this is the card of life moving quickly because we found what we're passionate about and other people are interested in what we have to offer. And you've got all the crows just kind of sitting there, you know. The crows now know that you feed them. They know that you're passionate about it. So now hundreds might come and make you feel overwhelmed with the situation. So there is the 8 right there. 9 of Wands is the card of feeling the need to look over your shoulders. You know, maybe you made the crows mad in the past. They actually, another thing that makes them extremely intelligent is the fact that they remember who hurts them. They remember people that maybe just weren't kind to them. And they tell their children and their children's children. And the path goes on. Generations of crows. If you make them mad, they'll continue to hate you. They might dive bomb you. They might peck you. They might scream at you in trees and like yell at you and things like that. So that definitely would be something that would cause you to need to look over your shoulder, right? Different ways you look at this card, like it's like almost like he's ducking his head into his hands, but then if you look, he's not. Like it's different ways. Like I look at it on the screen and it kind of looks like he's got his head under his shoulders, but he doesn't. He's looking up at him. So like he's facing that past. He's facing those reasons that made him feel like he can't do something. Even the thorny vines or whatever down here have like embraced his ankles and stuff, so he can't move free. But then the 10 of Wands, even though it's the card of feeling overwhelmed and burdened by having too many irons in the fire, you know, he's broken free of it. Like he's walking forward. He's got his boots that's going to make those thorns not cut into him so that he can move forward, so he can find something new that he's passionate about, you know, moving forward, facing that, so he can learn from that past and create some new path that he's passionate about. Knight of Wands, the flighty knight that knows what he wants and gets distracted and might find something else that he wants right there in that illustration. And he's, you know, he's learning from his past. He's looking back at it. The horse is looking forward, reminding us to learn from those experiences and soldier on to create a life that we're passionate about. Queen of Wands is next, and you have that illustration right there. Most creative queen of the court, I believe. You know, she has that passion. She's actually taken those thorns and wrapped them around the wand so she can she can use that information and that knowledge to create something better, to lead with that passion and fire to create a life that she's passionate about. And then she'll have all these stories, all these experiences she can inspire others with, because she's taken action on her passion ideas. She's created the life that she's passionate about, and now she's appreciating it and just being able to have all these stories that she can inspire others with, you know, masculine energy, taking action on those passionate ideas, not being afraid to see the world, to take experiences and show the world what we're made of. So beautiful illustration right there. That confidence just kind of seeps through there. Okay, we are on the last suits of this deck because we've had this, you know, we saw the other 3 suits. So we have the suits of the mind, which is definitely not least. It might be last in this deck. Once you shuffle the cards, it's like all mixed up. It won't be the last anymore. So there is the Ace of Swords, the 2 of Swords right here, indecisiveness again. Just keep turning away from the distractions and looking within again, so we can decide where we can go and what we can create next. The card of heartbreak and betrayal right here with the 3 of Swords, and you had that crow right there with what looks like being impaled on 3 swords. You know, heartbreak, betrayal can make us doubt we have anything better to go. You know, focused on that sadness, that loss, that betrayal, that heartbreak. But it's the 3. So we're reminded that we can create something from that pain. We only need to take that time to rest and reflect, to see ourselves as the strong foundations we truly are. Oh, that stained glass window right there with the crow. That is so cool. I love that. That is like the best stained glass window I've ever seen. I want one of those very badly. But you have that energy, like Stager Rider-Waite Smith vibes there as he's resting on what could have been his final resting place, taking that time to learn from his experiences of his past, to find that strong foundation within so he can trust himself, trust his mind, to move forward, to start seeing himself as the victor of his story instead of the victim. Because you know, heartbreak and betrayal, you were definitely a victim in that situation. But to change that mindset, you have to fly free away from it so that you can find that peace and harmony that you deserve. There is the 6 of Swords right there, and you can see there that the character is alone. He's driving himself over those peaceful waters because he's faced his emotions, he's faced his heartbreak, he's learned from them, reflected on that past, so that he can move forward and find the peace and harmony he deserves. 7 of Swords, the Thief card of the tarot. That thief, is that a crow pulling a raccoon? Like, it actually looks like a raccoon right there. I think it's a mouse because of the tail. But it's got, like, the bandit face. So, like, a crow pulling a raccoon. That would be terrifying to see, wouldn't it? Because a raccoon is probably bigger than a crow. But the Thief card of the tarot, and it's the 7 of Swords, so it's suit of the mind. I always relate the Thief card energy of the tarot to, your own mind making you feel like you've stolen your own confidence, that doubt stealing your confidence so you can't move forward. And that's what causes you to feel like a prisoner in your life, that mind working overtime against you. Creepy, creepy illustration right there. You've got all those strings and everything holding her down like she's trapped. But the 8 of Swords, you know, that's the card of success and wealth. That's strength of the major arcana, or justice, depending on who we ask. So that energy of 8 says, you know, if we want to find success, we have to free ourselves from that prison of our mind. We have to believe we are worthy of justice, of fairness, and balance in our lives. We have to find that strength to be that way for ourselves so we can clear our minds and not let the past and the victimness and the, you know, things of the past and the voices of others and everything make our own voices steal our confidence so we can't move forward and find that success we deserve. 9 of Swords is the card of inner demons keeping us up at night, filling us with nightmares. I'm talking too fast and getting a little tongue-tied. 9 of Swords, yeah, that definitely would be scary if a giant crow was trying to attack you while you were sleeping at night. So that is the card of inner demons keeping you awake at night. But again, 9, hermit energy, reflecting on the past, learning from the experiences of the past, means that you can start over even when everything seems lost, when you feel like there's nowhere to go, no way to move forward, you just want to give up and throw in the towel. This is the 10, so it reminds you to spin the wheel, begin the next chapter of your story by learning from those experiences of your past. What's done is done. What ending is behind you, but you can learn from those experiences and begin again. Taking that knowledge you've learned, useful knowledge, which is the Page of Swords right here. You see he's ready for that future. He's got his sword. He's got his focus. He knows what he wants because he's learning from those experiences past, and he trusts his mind. The Knight of Swords, he's dealt with those experiences. He's dealt with that heartbreak and betrayal, and he's dealt with the chaos that makes him enjoy chaos. He likes that taste. So he's ready for whatever life throws at him. You see the horses kind of turn towards the past. So he's learned from those experiences, you know. He's tamed that beast of his mind. So he trusts himself to overcome whatever life throws at him. And He likes that taste of chaos, and he thrives on that chaos. So he learns from those experiences, which gives him that queen status. He has compassion for himself, kindness for himself. He's been hurt in the past. He's been broken in the past. He's become this queen, this knowledge and everything that she has, so that she can create something she wants more in life. She has that crow beside her, which is half white and half black. So we have that knowledge, back to that Hierophant that I said earlier. Like, that was a while ago. But you know, other people abusing you, other people breaking your heart, betraying you, and things like that, abusing, just filling you with doubt, that can cause us to feel so negative, to feel so doubting ourselves, so just unconfident. And when we find that confidence, we learn from those experiences, we don't let the pain of the past hinder us anymore, but actually learn from it, well, then we can create a life that we love. We can create the logical lives for ourselves, and we can create, you know, something that just fills us with confidence and love and passion and logic as well. And we end this no, it wasn't a reading. We end this walkthrough of the Murder of Crows with the King of Crows right here, the most logical member of the court. I relate him to the Vulcans of the Star Trek universe. You know, to live long and prosper, you gotta have that logic. And that's what the King of Swords has. He leads with logic. He reminds us to lead with logic too, as we focus on what we want to create next and what we are fools for. That was the Murder of Crows Tarot. Oh, such an awesome deck. I'm so excited to add this one to my collection. Thank you, Justina, for thinking of me and sending me this deck. I love how we do this, because it's just we have no rhyme or reason to which decks we pick for each other. We just send each other our wish lists, and we each go through and we pick the deck we think that they like the best, whether they like it or not. But you know, this is our wish list. We wouldn't put things on our wish list if we didn't want them, right? So definitely wanted the Murder of Crows. Beautiful, beautiful deck. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and that, you know, if you like crows, that you learned a little bit about crows, and you also, you know, learned if you wanted this deck or not. I'll leave a link in the description below of where you can purchase it. It will be the Amazon link, because, well, I know that they ship it, and that they ship it quickly, because she sent it to me like 2 days ago, and here it is. So that was the Murder of Crows. If you want a reading with this deck or any deck in my collection, then feel free to comment on this video, message me on either the socials, or book one directly on my website at cosmiccrowtarot.com. All of that will be in the link in the description as well. Thank you for watching. If I can get this back in. Whoop. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again in the next one.